should use this.
How am I not getting that kill, bro?
Nah, bro, this guy's 20 and 13, man. He's been on Counter-Strike the entire time everyone else is playing something else. Let's go, bitch.
No way, bro. He's connector to it. Pokemon Go Fest 2025 Global is right around the corner. Get ready to encounter special Pokemon like Skidoo and Klefki appearing globally for the first time. And you definitely don't want to miss the long-awaited global debut of the myth.
Okay. I'll get back in it early. Because apparently Jupiter's over here with the alerts turned on and everything before I can even get a chance to like share the stream and stuff. I love it. I love the enthusiasm. Dude, I saw the highlight of it when I was at work yesterday, and I'll get back in it early. Because apparently Jupiter's over here with the alert. Gotta love a good echo. Yeah, I saw the stadium went nuts though, man. That's we definitely needed a little out of him. All right, give me 1 second. My wife just texted me asking for some milk. Yeah, dude. The irony of the fact that I was just reading an article about how ass half our lineup had been, and it was including Murphy though. Like yesterday, before that happened, it was saying that basically, like, if Drake's gonna play better than him, Drake needs to be getting 85% of the reps, and Murph needs to be the backup filling in. And talking about how excuse me, we're basically playing matchups now with Michael Harris because he's playing so bad. And then same with Ozzy. I think they suggested Nacho, but he pulled his oblique again last night, which slows it down. Any who's. But yeah, I'm thinking I may take. I don't know how I would do it though. I want to take my laptop and see if I can't work on some of the stuff. I'm gonna go to Arkansas this weekend to visit family, and so I won't be streaming until Sunday night. But then I'll be able to stream actually Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday night. Yes, because I go to work Thursday next week. But yeah, I'm gonna maybe take my laptop and see if I can't figure out how to get all the stupid alerts and shit working. Yeah. And they both have terrible arms. Look at Team Affinity real quick and see if there's, I think maybe Kansas City's one of them. Yeah, I need to do some shit to get Kansas City done. XP gets 25k. Hits, 8 home runs. Those are all a little beefy for just playing a little bit of events, but man, kind of funny, but also kind of somebody being a smartass, unsubscribing last stream after we hit 70, so it would go back down to 69, which, nice. Sex number. But then also, like, I'm not shotgunning a beer again when we hit 70 again. It's not happening. Oh, excuse me. Why do I feel like, what's his name, the Soderstrom, is that his name, right? Bank. I swore Soderstrom was, is he listed as a fucking right fielder now? He may not be eligible now for this event because of that. That sucks. Yeah, honestly, I'm kind of thinking maybe... This clutch isn't much better. Jared ran down. Basically just trying to see if I can trap an advantage here. Like if they bring in a lefty, fuck it, let's just roll with it. Get some games going. Probably play a couple event games, 2-3, and then do the same thing where I jump into a ranked game or two and see how it goes. Because I gotta get 19 strikeouts to finish the multiplayer program. P4 Jackson Holiday in the 9-hole. I forgot this was locked at Polo Grounds now. Hell yeah. I'm actually super down for this. Sweeper and 12-6. Well, that was nice and stuttery to start. Cool. Perfectly squared up change up too. Didn't see that. I thought it was a sweeper. That was the sweeper and I chased it. Yay! Okay, not a great first inning. Hadn't played in a few days and I don't feel like I'm seeing that ball out of the hand at all. Did we really quit after not scoring in an inning where we tried to bunt twice? Shouldn't be surprised at this point. This shit's getting so weird now. Yeah. There's not even like a big amount of steps to be made out of events, so I don't understand why the bot farming thing. I guess just PXP, XP in general. It's weird to me. I do have a Sean Murphy card. It's actually a Moonshot series card for hitting dingus. So that's kind of funny. But I can't use him right now because people have to have speed in this event. I could use his live series, I guess, but I don't want to do that. It's not a very good card. Because he's been ass for fucking, I don't know, a month, 2 months. That the Grand Slam was electric though last night. Definitely pretty cool. And it was a big sigh of relief when it was a one-run game, and then all of a sudden we have a 5-run lead with how our offense has been lately. Like today, 1 fucking run, man. Perfectly thrown pitch, and we miss. Thank you. Why didn't the pitcher even make an attempt at that, dude? Good start to the game. Nice. Nice. It's a 2-seam. Okay. And he tried to throw it first pitch like it's a sinker. Good to know. Dang. A foot foul. Good changeup. I thought he might go 2-seam in there. Changeup up. Sat back on it at least. That hopped over the fucking fence out there. Oh my god. Dude, that's sick. 2 signed Mickey Mantle photos? Yeah, that would be awesome. Okay, man. Suck my left nut, bitch. I hope you're fucking watching. Oh, you don't want to give up a free stolen base again? So you didn't throw your knuckleball? Already in the yellow, so this isn't going to last real long for you, bud. Ah, on top of it. Oh, yeah. Oh. Oh no. What are we gonna do? We're gonna get to foul off every fucking pitch on the planet for some reason. And then put a ball in play when we're swinging at balls above our head. With 90 contact. You gonna change pitchers or quit, bitch? Ah, Hobby Milner. This is a World Series player? And he plays like this? That's wild. See you later, fuckface. Yeah, you were watching too, weren't you? I just saw the viewer count go down. Gives up a base runner, 2 base runners, immediately goes to a knuckleballer to try to toxic his way into a free win, and then fucking quits after getting his fucking shit rocked. In events, of all things. Like, get a fucking life, loser. Dude, people just have... Like, you don't have anything better to do with your time than play like a fucking 12-year-old? Maybe you are 12. I apologize. I shouldn't assume that you're a, adult, young adult, a teenager. Myrtle Beach Merman. That's a cool logo. Isn't that like a low A team? Or high A? I think it's a single A team if I remember correctly. Unfortunate. Good swing. On a hanging curveball. And early on a changeup. Felt like I sat back kind of decent on that, but I was really early. Man, I was early. That sucks. Didn't quite square it up enough to get a good exit velo, I guess. Am I throwing Clay Holmes this game? I am. So I don't think I'm gonna... I may still put bunt defense on. Corbin Carroll's just annoying. Yeah, I'm putting bunt defense on. Good. Not a great pitch. Fairly decent input, and it just missed right over the middle of the plate. I mean, that was fucking murderable. So we're horned up for a sinker, huh? Yeah. Excuse me. If that was a cutter, it wouldn't have broke as much. Damn. Another good swing for an out. My two lefty platoon guys have taken good swings, and I'm just not getting good results out of it. But that'll be a good result. It wasn't even a cutter, it was a four seam. Ooh, change up in. I thought I was seeing it miss to the middle. I'm seeing that so well, and I'm still super early. Good lord. That's so disappointing. I was legitimately sitting change up away there. And my eyes lit up when I got it. Wow, and he took it. I thought he'd be horned up for a fastball and give it at least a check swing. Throw the fucking ball. I hate this bullshit. I loaded a throw because I want you to throw the ball. He's still got energy. Holy shit. No. You bitch. First check swing of the night. Doesn't go my way. What do you know? Early. On a sinker away. Damn. Let's have a change up. Damn. I thought I tapped it soft enough to maybe get a check. I guess not. I'm just... maybe it's the type of controller I buy. I know other people use, like, fucking Power A's and... Who do I want to burn for one right-handed batter? We'll go with him. Hmm. You better hope you got a backup catcher, man, because if you find a way to get on and score... Auto? Yeah. That doesn't bode well to start for you. Neither does that. I was going to say, can we call a check swing one time for the one time? That is a fucking strike. Ew. 2 freaking hits. I felt like I saw pitches really well that game, though. My PCI was just off, or my timing was just off. Well, we've hit the 3-win threshold, and now it's going to be hard as shit to find games. I guess the ad's over. 200,000 stub card just to swing at everything, I suppose. To each their own. Kind of needed that to catch, brother. Thinking probably gonna play a ranked game or two tonight, soon. Strikeouts are just coming way too slow in events, man. It's too freaking easy just to foul off every fucking pitch. The Golden 8 Pearson is not the same as the Diamond Man. Ah, good spot. Good spot. That didn't have as much tail away as I thought it would. Just late, be great. Okay. Is there going to be a triple for Many-Man Chowder? We're pushing it. Because it's polo grounds. Get your fat ass in there, Manny. Thank you. If it's any park besides this, that's probably a bomb. Ridiculous. Oh, I've dropped under it. Fucking shit. Okay. The Eggman. Dude, can we stop letting him foul off fucking everything? I didn't mean let him put it in play. That ball's hitting him in the back leg, man. Just impossible to get strikeouts with the fucking all-star, man. Figured I had to take a chance and just try to gas him. Back-to-back sinkers. Okay. Also throw the ball really weird here. Is that a curveball? I didn't remember he threw a curveball. Great. Good start. He sure fucking does. And it wasn't close to being a strike, dumbass. Oh, that's gotta be killed. I was looking sinker down. I didn't get my PC. I should have just let it go. This was so high. I knew he was going to throw a four seam eventually. He hadn't thrown one yet. A little high, but it was close. Slide step doesn't make a difference, brother. I was protecting on a close fucking sinker. Ah, good changeup. Too shallow and left to get in. Again, didn't get the PCI up enough. Damn, I really wish I'd have added on one or two there. 3 fucking hits, nothing to show for it. Hi. Oh, clip it for me. Come on. I must fucking change pitchers, man. I was really hoping to get the last out without having to waste another pitcher. Wrong one. This one. Well, I'm going to a righty because I'll use Chris Martin. I haven't used him yet. Dude swung at everything all game. Let's give him brushback animation. Yeah. Don't know what that was, but I didn't make the fucking shit game. That was weird. Is he inside edged up today, or is that an adjustment he got? Okay, man. I suppose that could just be P4 stats. Still an absolute pool noodle of a bat. Not a great swing. Really awesome frame drops. I wonder if that was because of me using somebody with dreads. That didn't look great out of the hand. Could have just been screen tearing from the game. Who knows? That's too lazy. It's going to get caught. Nice. Sinker's up and away. Like, I'm sitting down and I can't fucking adjust to him. It's a pretty good spot. Just leaked over the middle of the plate a bit too much. Can't let a cutter in go like that, man. I was hoping you'd go sinker there. I didn't even try to read the pitch. That's gonna be a fucking perfect line out because of this stupid fucking event being at this ballpark. Yep, we're going to a righty. Just realized he's using a fucking hot dog bat. The Glizzy Gobbler bat. What a take. Holy shit. Base hit. Nice. Early on a ball down and away that's designed to get you to roll over to the shortstop. And we're going to reward him with a hit. Yup. No runs for you, sir. Don't give him fucking brushback animations. It does have a 12.6 curve. Wow, holy Dotimus Prime. Wow. Okay, man. Awesome. God, that was what I was sitting on, and I fucking missed it. Nice. I hate that I wasted that pinch runner now. That has never happened before, and it's happened 2 times out of the last 3 streams I've had. That's so weird. Don't understand. Punch his fucking ass. Dude, you fucking bitch. Nice effort, Otto. Thank you. Feet in concrete. 93 speed, silver fielder. Go to whoever you want, man. Yeah, that's not going to be that helpful for you. Oh, I wanted defense. I want to go outfield. I want to go deep. I hate that I lost a few people with that stupid disconnect. I need to figure out what may be causing that and try to remedy the situation, because I don't need to be having random disconnects. Like, 8 viewers isn't a ton. I don't need to be losing 3 of them because of a stupid disconnect when I've got fiber optic internet and I didn't disconnect from shit. And I just updated OBS today, so why in the world did OBS... who knows? Somebody probably having the same problem I've had before, where they sit in queue forever looking for a game. So I'm going to hang out for a minute, give them a minute, see if maybe they're here. I think eventually they just close the server out if somebody just sits there at the picture selection menu and doesn't do anything long enough. Because we're eating up a server and not doing anything there. You know what's funny is I actually hit quite a bit with Buxton the first couple nights of his supercharge, because people would bring in a lefty to face Will Benson because he's abominable. That's not the right use of that word. Abhorrent. And nobody's done that tonight. And he's late enough in my lineup, like at any time he comes up, you could go for a lefty-lefty matchup. Maybe they paid attention and know he's the DH. They don't. I don't know. Hey, my mic was blocking that. I didn't see that I actually found a person. Could we please actually load into the game? I'm having great difficulties finding opponents, yes. Let's just place. I think I'm the visiting team. Holy cow, that seems to be loading slowly. I'm not, and I'm facing Tristan McKenzie. Against the Busch Light Philly Biscuits. I was really hoping these ads would be over. There we go. Before I had to start pitching. 260 average. Like I'm just in 160 plate appearances. Swing away, brother. I'll give you a little easier CNI singles, but you're not getting a free bunt base hit. It is a man of culture, though, with the Bush Latte logo. Yeah, I gotta stop throwing that pitch so much first pitch to righties. It's worked well, and that's why I keep going back to the well, but two different uses of the same word. There's a reason why. No swing, huh? Cool, cool, cool. Looks similar enough, but it's not. And then you go cutter up off of it. Works like a charm. Nice. I had a feeling as I was selecting cutter down in a way, I was like, I should not be throwing this right here. It's sad that this card came out on launch day and he's been DFA'd now after being a Cy Young finalist. Four-seam slider, curveball. Okay. I guess because I'd got 99 exit velo there, and it felt like 89 off the bat, honestly. A little under the zone. Not stealing with 73 speed, brother. Okie dokie. Knock it off. You're going to miss to the middle of the plate, and you're going to give up hits, or I'm going to fucking put one into the stands as a souvenir. Like, just pitch. He has 30 stealing and 70 speed. Like, he's not stealing second base. Oh. And then we've got Lou Bob playing center instead of PCA. When your outfield defense would be immensely better with PCA and Lou Bob out of position. Mm-hmm. It had great movement on it. Holy cow. That should clear him and probably be... it's dying. It may not be a triple. We're going to push it and see if we can't get the throw home. Yeah. Nice. You're going to get to watch that a second time because you want to slide step the whole time. Nice little whirly bird in front of home plate because we want to slide step the whole time. Seriously, man, I'm sorry it took so long to realize you said something, Patrick, but he's been hitting terrible. And Baldwin's cooled off a little, but, like... And honestly, I think Ozuna's becoming less likely to get moved because the thing in his hip has appeared to be more of an issue over the last month. He's hitting for no power. He's basically walking or hitting singles and striking out a lot. Well, and honestly, there's nothing wrong with selling either of them because it doesn't even make us sellers at the deadline necessarily. They're fucking positions that we already have fillings for. Like, DH, insert anybody who's hot at the time. Right, I was saying somebody was either, being a smartass to get us under 70 or they were just trying to be funny and get us back to the sex number. But either way, that kind of stinks. Yeah, and honestly, both of them being former All-Stars and you get like somebody who's in a wild card hunt interested in maybe picking them up, we could get a good relief pitcher. Exactly. I don't know who catcher number 2 is if we move Murph, but there's got to be an option. Or maybe it's part of the trade. I hate this fucking ballpark. That was a 490-foot fucking flyout. It also opens up the issue, like, who's him a dick? Albies has not been playing well. Give him a day off to just focus on hitting every now and then, and he can just DH if we don't have Ozuna, you know? I just got this strange feeling like people around the league don't like him because of his off the field crap he's dealt with over the last 4 or 5 years. Like, so we're either going to lowball the shit out of him and not re-sign him, or we're going to be end up stuck with him anyway, which I don't know is great. I feel like we're due for a regression out of him soon. We put that in place. This game's so fucking dumb. There should never be strikeout missions that are more than 25. Like, so fucking stupid. 75 fucking strikeouts. That dude swung at balls bouncing off the plate and put him in play. Nine more strikeouts. Yeah, man. I feel like we have to. They said some stat during one of the games in New York that we won about how there's one where Dylan Lee struck out Soto. That was the tying run at the plate in the 8th. They hadn't given up a run since June 5th or some horseshit stat. And it's like, well, yeah. They were coming, like, we had really good starting outings, so it was minimal innings. And then in a few of those games, like, we were either way behind or way ahead. So, like, it was coast season at that point. So, what did it matter at that point in the game? And I feel like I hate Rysel. Don't get me started like on that topic again, like always. But we have to go get a top end closer if we're serious. But honestly, we're getting to the point. This month has not gone well enough. I don't know that we have a chance of digging ourselves out at this rate. Like, it's just too late. I know AA said something last week about wanting to make a move now to prove that we're not sellers, which I guess means before the All-Star break, or All-Star break, like not even waiting until the trade deadline. But, man, we got to do it then. We're treading water here. We need help. Okay. Dude, that's the other thing, though. It opens up so many possibilities if we don't have Ozuna. Like, then you have the possibility of Olsen taking a day off and DHing. Riley taking a day off and DHing. With the way baseball is now, and, like, we talked about in that group message, the increase in UCLs or, like, the Achilles injuries in basketball, like the weird freak injuries that have cropped up over the last 20 years. Like, just being able to swing and jog to first if you don't get a hit, like, can go a long ways, like, rotating that spot around. I understand you want to have somebody, but maybe your fucking DH could be somebody who could actually play a position every now and then. I know last spring training we toyed with the idea of him playing a little first base, and I don't know why we never gave it a shot. Maybe we did in the spring training last year and didn't like it, but his big fat ass should be able to just. I mean, he's obviously not going to be a Gold Glove defender like Matty, but just stand there and catch the fucking ball. I don't know. It's probably a bit of recency bias too, because this time last year he was the best hitter on our team, and we weren't saying any of this shit. It would have been blasphemous to suggest trading Ozuna after Acuna went down. He was what kept us afloat in the middle of the season, hitting 2 homers a week and hitting 300 and on base of 420 or whatever it was, and ended up with 39 homers on the year. Hitting would be relative. He's been very cold the last month, and like I said, he's top of the league in walks, and otherwise he's not slugging very well over the last 30 days. And like part of the speculation is that his little partial tear in his hip is actually worse than initially speculated, and we're in for more trouble because can you have a big fat guy like that in your lineup that's a liability on the base paths who can't get himself to second ever? Yeah, and that's true. Him having the ability to fully heal would help. God, I'm early on a changeup. Yeah. Jesus, throw me harder, Daddy. Yanked under it. And I was late. Right to him. Cool. Oh, I didn't see that you said at the beginning of the year. Yeah, I mean, I still don't think he was hitting for a ton of power, but it is drastically dropped off recently. And I think after the last 2 seasons he's had, he's earned the right to get a little leeway to work himself out of a funk, but 30 days is becoming more than a funk. It's becoming like Michael Harris, where it's a legit problem. One of the Atlanta sports radio talks that I follow on Facebook, the guy brought up the fact that, like, since when did it become so impressive to run around the outfield and catch fly balls? Like, I know he plays a good center field. Anybody who's fast can play a good center field. You don't have to be the starting center fielder for a playoff contender and be a liability in the outfield anymore. And he's borderline not hitting his body weight anymore. after the last month and a half he's had. That fucking sucks. He is late on 94 up and in and gets rewarded with a triple. Yeah, I would say buyers very tentatively, honestly, like, and it'd be more like what we're talking about, where we're moving guys that aren't a part of the plan going forward at the big league level and see what we can get for them, as opposed to, you know, getting rid of, like you said, the little bit of talent we do have in our farm system. Because it ain't much, brother. We're pretty spent at the moment. Oh, cool. Good time to fucking lag for the first time during my fucking pinpoint. That's got to be murdered. Like, I'm not doing a good job of getting my PCI to the top of the zone when I'm sitting down tonight. Will Benson has an amazing swing, apparently. Yeah. You never know if somebody's in a similar situation as us, where they're in a contract year. They don't foresee them buying their contract in the off season. They're going to let them walk anyway, so they want to get something out of it. You never know. It didn't work back enough. Yeah. I don't even know if the way he's played, he's been so injury prone last year and the year before on and off, and then this year he's played like dog turds. So, like you said, you don't get much for him probably. You got to basically just sit on him till his contract's up. No. Dude, there's been so much copium that I've seen on Twitter or Facebook of like Mets fans, Yankees fans talking about, you know, being willing to move Acuna and move Sale before the deadline, and I was like, you guys are huffing it. Like, I don't know where in the fuck you think that's possible, but you are huffing it hard. There's a show YouTuber that I follow who's a big Mets fan, and he put this long tweet out talking about how he read that, you know, Acuna and his brother really want to play together, and there's been obvious issues with the front office and Snit and Acuna, in that they could make a run for Acuna before the trade deadline, and I was just like, brother, you are so fucking full of it. Like, if there's anybody that's actually supposed to be an accredited sports writer talking that shit, like, you're fucking dumb. Yeah, except we signed him to a fucking extension because he had a decent rookie year. Maybe, except for the fact he's been our only reliable starting pitcher after his first few starts. Like, he's guaranteed to go out there and pitch half decent now. He does have a cutter. Wow. Perfectly squared up. Out. Not perfectly squared up. I was a little jammed, but good timing. I think, honestly, you would have, as mad as people were about the Red Sox moving Devers, you'd see a bigger uprising if we moved Acuna. We're not talking about somebody who, you know, has been good at times and helped us win a World Series a half a decade ago. We're talking about a former MVP who created his own fucking category for the Hall of Fame with the 40-70 club. Like, I hope AA is not so stupid. Like, Riley is the highest paid player in franchise history for now because Acuna's contract isn't due yet. And honestly, we shouldn't be letting it go as long as we have. We don't need to let him get into his final year of his contract before we get an extension signed. And I know it's going to hurt, but like he's got to get it. He's fucking earned it. On top of that, like that 23 season, he has earned a blank check. Oh, yeah. Well, and I think the Freeman situation was like the one instance where something like that could happen, and it's never going to happen again. They let the franchise dude walk in free agency, and the fan base is never going to let him live it down. 2 years later, he's the fucking World Series MVP. Hitting one of the biggest home runs in World Series history. Like, damn. That's in my ambush zone squared up, man. I know I'm just early, but it couldn't have at least been a fucking hit. Good. That's a perfect release. Let's not throw a strike, Lucas. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, he very much could be like a Ken Griffey type. But honestly, would you complain if we had Ken Griffey for his entire career? Like if you lock him up and keep him, the he could have broke the all-time home run record. He could have been the greatest player of all time. He coulda. Like the dude still hit 500 home runs. Like I would take a what his career could have been type Hall of Famer as opposed to letting him go somewhere else. Wow, that was ugly. I was trying to load up a throw with Beltron and it hit the bag and it gave me the throw for fucking Cruz. Honestly, I know it was just the first month of him being back, but the way he's swung it since he came back, I'm not too worried about him coming back. If he's going to put more of an emphasis on being healthy and not trying to steal as many bags or fly into the wall as much in the outfield, like, I'll take it. Would I like him to steal 70 bags every year? Fuck yeah. But I don't think that's realistic. I mean, I think Trout is this generation's Ken Griffey Jr. With the start he had to his career, he was legitimately one of those, like, he's the next Bonds, he's the next Hank Aaron. He's like this generation's greatest player on the Mount Rushmore of baseball. And hopefully Acuna's not that injury prone because we've had 7 years in a row now of Trout injuries. 6, something like that. Like, haven't been able to get a full season out of him in forever. Yeah. I mean, I agree. I don't understand when it gets like this how I get to the minimum going down so far and I can't find somebody. I would say that I wonder if this is doing like I've always assumed BR did, but I found out this year when they added the thing where you can see the record of each person when you play BR, that it doesn't actually work like I assumed it did, where it'd find somebody similar amount of wins in a BR run to you. I played somebody who got a 10-1 run completed by beating me, and I was 4-1 when we started the game, or 3-1. Oh good, I've hit Clay Holmes so well, let's do it again. Decent batting average, actually. For somebody that hasn't played a single ranked game. Is this a BR demon? That felt the exact same as that 99-mile-an-hour lineout I had with him last game. 2 games ago. Whatever it was. That dies at the wall? It's a short porch, brother, with a squared up baseball. I'm late. I didn't even need to see the feedback. I felt how terrible that swing was. Dear God. Miss to the outside of the par. Yes. Miss to the bottom of the par on a perfect release. Thank you. A little bit of justice in the world, I guess. Good spot. brother. That was too heavy-handed. I felt it. Good changeup. I thought I sat back really well on a sinker, and then I was early on a changeup. That's gonna die again. Dude, I'm fucking ambushing correctly and getting good timing or squaring up balls, and I can't get hits. This is all-star. By God, we'll let everybody foul every fucking pitch off. Dude. Did we miss towards the middle of the plate on a perfect release? We did. Awesome. I guess that's payback. My Beltron hit was pretty shitty. I didn't capitalize on it. Why are we jumping the wrong way, you bitch? God, Moncada, you're killing me. Back-to-back perfect releases that missed the strike zone. It's just fucking caught again. Show me yellow or red. Oh, yep, yellow energy, man. Dude. Fucking turbo sinker at 96 miles an hour. Looks like 110. Mm-hmm. He's got like that owl lighter sinker that just fucking dies. When it starts its brake, it hits fucking 5th gear and just boom, down to the fucking strike zone. That's gonna be a line out. It's not. Oh my god. First pitch sinker when I'm looking away, of course. That was off the plate. Nice, dumbass. Telling the guy at second to slide, not you, stupid. The game's already written the script. We're losing this fucking game. Slide step, 100-mile-an-hour sinker, perfect throw, not even close. Safe by 5 feet. God, I'm trying to throw something just funky enough I can get a fucking swing and a miss, man. Perfect release, man. Thank you. It's a good spot for a changeup if I'm trying to defend a sinker down there. Oh, and heavy thumbed. I got one check swing that at bat. This guy's pretty reliant on the changeup, and I'm chasing it to appease him. Because I'm looking for sinkers there, and I keep chasing the changeups down. There's the sinker. What a jump, Jaron. Are you fucking out? Yep, thank you, Jaron. Jesus. That's the slowest 94 speed down the bases I've ever seen. That's wild. A little baseball IQ, excuse me, maybe. You're down by 3, so tagging up and going one base does nothing for you. Could I please hit a spot one time? Thank you. That was terrible on my part, honestly. And the second strikeout with him. What was I at one point? I needed like 9. Four more. Whew. Yeah, like I said, loading into the last game, I don't understand why, though. The max goes up, the min goes down. I can find games when the Q's in those number ranges that the minimum's in, but all of a sudden when I get farther into the run and get higher, like it never evens out and find somebody. Like, just let me play someone. It's an event. There's no event wins, special rewards. There's no program. There's no 10 win event run card. Like, just let me play someone. 500, 200, 0. I'd say that last guy was probably the best person that we played tonight, though. Pretty disciplined at the plate for the most part, which ended up biting him in the end. He was too disciplined at the plate and took strike 3 twice in the last inning. Which I get, that's kind of, it's the risky run playing this game. Like, it, especially this year when pitches can be touching the strike zone and not count. Hey, opponent found. We're going to hope that maybe Corbin Carroll's leading off for this dude. That's why I started Bubich. Ellie. I will take that as well. And he's coming out the very next dude. Hey, a fellow Braves fan. The Dune Sandworms with a cool logo. I love it. I like this guy already. No ranked games played. Decent average. Custom unis as well. What a fucking spot. Yeah, he does have a cutter. Cutter sweeper. There's the sweeper, and I chased it. Just below the strike zone. Damn. My eyes lit up. I thought I was getting the freaking cutter. Like belt high in. Thought I was getting another sinker. This is not off to a great start, Jordan. Backdoor cutter. Okay, this dude's a little unconventional so far. Another changeup instead of a sinker? Wow. Unfortunate. That was a really bad first inning. Now, is Xavier Edwards really bad against lefties? I may let it ride. We'll see what we can do. Not great. Not great. Okay. Awesome. Come on, Bubich. Nice. 3 more. I mean, I put 2 really shitty swings in play like that, so I'd rather swing and miss it on both of mine. No touchy. Okay. A really bad no touchy. Is he in the yellow? No. So I don't know why. Now that was probably a confidence homer. Will Benson's got a decent swing. I mean, I didn't do anything to deserve that at all. Good changeup. Just below. Another one. Okay. Gotta recognize down and take it eventually. He's just the slowest piece of shit ever. So, and he got a yellow throw bailed out. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. And then a perfect... Okay. You think this fella knows the sinker is the best pitch in the game and he's not throwing it ever? He's throwing it front door to fucking lefties. And backdoor cutters. And he's not throwing it to righties. Fucking missed it. It's not a great spot, honestly, because of how big center field and the gaps are. Like, my best chance would have been to have got on top of that and driven it into left center, but it's too early. Moncada may be a pull hitter anyway, so that may not have been great for me. Two more? Nice. One more strikeout. Not a great swing again. God, he's fast. If that wasn't Ellie, he may have beat it out. Living off the off speed. And we double up to best player in the game with 96 speed somehow, when it wasn't hit directly at anyone. Was that it? Bubic, Coulomb had 2, and that's 1. I think that's all our strikeouts. Who? Okay. That should be the multiplayer program completed. Ooh, buddy. Tyler Glass now. Oh my god. Okay. We're gonna still get Pipeline because it gives us a chance at Schwarber. We're gonna end on our chance at Trey Turner, who's going for slightly under 200,000 subs, but that's a pretty penny. Still haven't pulled a Live Series 90 plus this year, and if I pull one that's not worth a shit, I'm gonna lose it. Because we've got Scooble now, who's not really very expensive. He's like 30K. Let's actually just look real quick. Filter, Live Series, minimum. 90. P. Crow Armstrong, worthless. Tarek Skubal, not too bad. He's actually recovered a little. I mean, Shohei's the real prize. Bobby Witt. Jose Ramirez isn't terrible. Ketel's gone back up a little bit. Aaron Judge. I mean, obviously I'd like Aaron Judge or Shohei. I had to slow grind my way to getting collections done. Could I fucking get a decent pull before the All-Star break? Is that so much to ask? Or give me Trey Turner at the end of it. I'm cool with that as well. Kenta Maeda. Did he win a Cy Young, or was he just a Cy Young finalist one year? Crazy that that dude's just, like, not playing for anybody anymore. I'm honestly kind of surprised he's not back in Japan playing now. Maybe he's hurt. Maybe he's coming back. I don't feel like he's pitched in a few years now. So Logan O'Hoppe, I don't think he's doing so hot right now, so I'm not going to try to hold on to him for an update. Andrew Chafin, I'm pretty sure he's hurting out for the rest of the year, isn't he? Which sucks. Gotta love the Kenny Powers look. Fucking skipped over a Jose Trevino. Wouldn't have been many stubs anyway, I guess. Austin Cox. I played JUCO baseball with a dude named Austin Cox. 6'2", 320-pound first baseman catcher who hit the most ridiculous home run I've ever seen in my life. But yeah, he was getting recruited to go to D2s and small D1s to play offensive line, and he ended up deciding to play JUCO baseball to follow his girlfriend, who broke up with him a month before college started. Tristan Casas, also a very sad instance. Dude's been hurt 2 years in a row now after having such a great breakout year. interesting time in the year where there's a bunch of guys getting added to rosters that are going for 3-4 times as much as they should as commons. If you can catch them when they first get added and they're going for hundreds, that's awesome. Because, you know, roster update comes out on Friday and people have got a little more stubs. They're ready to finally complete a team, and all of a sudden there's some, 45 overall a-hole that's got no availability on the market, and they're having to put in a buy order for like 299 stubs or some shit for them. Is Jazz playing well? 835? I don't think he's got much chance to get upgraded in this update. And it's not this Friday, it's next Friday now. I just realized even if I do pull something cool, I'm not recording, so I should probably start recording, huh? Jose Brady, former MVP, Rookie of the Year. He did come into the league at like 30 years old, so short-lived, kind of stinks, but it's the way it goes, man. It's hard to defect from Cuba at a young age. It's a dragon fruit, I'm not gonna lie. At first glance I was like, why in the world is there a pink taco in the game? Hey yo, what the... Packs could not be drier right now. What have I pulled? 2 golds out of this so far? Oh, that was a cute emblem. Not that I would have changed mine to it, but it's cute. Dog in a shark costume. Everybody loves dogs, right? You should, or you're wrong. Man, we need you to be healthy, Joey. Come on. He was actually huge for our bullpen last year. And, God, we need all the help we can get right now. Honestly, I feel like if he was healthy and we'd have had the struggles that we had with Iglesias, like, we wouldn't have taken so long to have moved him out of the closer role. We'd have probably swapped him and put Iglesias to like a setup role take a little pressure off of him, and put Jimenez in as the closer. Because the dude's got a filthy slider. He's just like a fastball slider pitcher, that's it. I think he has a changeup, but it's more of just like a show pitch. Like show that you've got it once a week, once an outing or something. It's not necessarily like a weapon that he uses a lot. Dude, these things are so terrible. I mean, it's a lot of commons and bronzes, brother. I think I'm going to go ahead and open this because my pack luck couldn't get any worse, and if I'm going to get him, hopefully it's right here. If I open that other pack and get a diamond, it's going to screw it. Didn't work. That sucks. 3571. Another purple. And another purple. Well, that sucked. Nobody's ever chanted MVP at that dumbass. So, didn't pull a single thing and got 30,000 stubs out of it, I guess. Still got buy orders going through, so it'll go up a little more, but not much. I do have a little bit invested right now. I don't remember who it was in. I think it was gold's possibly going diamond. Drew Rasmussen. His price has gone up a little. I got him at like 16, I want to say. I don't really want to keep buying into him because if he doesn't go up, then I'll lose more on his quick sell. And then what was the other one? He's not getting upgraded now. J-Rod. He was hot, didn't get upgraded. I don't know if he's even super hot right now. He's just so close to quick sell, it's kind of dumb not to buy him. They could give him some bullshit to inflate his overall just to make him a diamond again, like discipline. +4 to his contact and power on one side gets him to 1 point. So, I mean, he's teetering on the edge of going up. if he gets +4 to 2 attributes and doesn't get downgraded too much anywhere else, he's going up. And chance of losing 20 stubs on each one. I got him at like 1510 or 1505, something like that. Maddie's been pretty good lately. You got to get a +3 to make stubs on him. Or, no. +2 gets him to 1200. It's hard to tell with parallel 3. He always gets a really good inside edge too, though. Today was a weird one. -10s. Because he has such a terrible career average against Ranger Suarez. I vaguely remember that from last year, too. Another guy who's got terrible inside edge against Suarez. Wow. Terrible. Matt's playing way up. Austin played up. Ozuna played up. Albies was playing down against the left. Dude, he's doing bad. Playing down against the lefty is not like Albies. I just don't know. I mean, he's an amazing card, don't get me wrong. I think our all-star cards are at least going to be 95s. And do we just record the video? Fuck it, do it live. YouTube, how's it going? Little impromptu video. We're just going to sit here. We're going to ramble a little bit. What I want to do is I want to go through each team is guaranteed at least one all-star, and there are some that are choosing because of where they're sitting in the voting right now. I want to talk about possible all-star cards for each team, and also who are going to be our big boys in the all-star collection, because based off of the performance they've had in the first half and the cards that they already have, they might justify getting a 99, so let's get into it. So starting off, it's kind of a hard choice with them playing so bad this year. I think the easy selection, just based off of where he's sitting in the voting, is Jackson Holiday, but unfortunately he just got this 93 overall, so I don't see him getting a card for the All-Star game. That doesn't take into account pitching, though, because the voting so far has just been position players. So we very easily could see Felix Bautista. He's a good reliever every year. I think he's probably a shoo-in to get the nod for being an all-star. If not, then, you know, Gunnar, Adley. Jordan Westburg had a good start to the year. I think he's cooled off a good bit, but he's a possibility as well. Moving on to the Red Sox. They've had a handful of good performers so far to start the year. I think Garrett Crochet's probably a shoo-in with the way he's performed. Don't know that Bregman would play. He might go. But with the injury trouble he's had in the first half and just not playing for the last month plus, don't think he's in. Chapman has had a great resurgence year, even walking less people. Another all-star card, probably. Jaron Duran's kind of a coin toss, in my opinion. sneaky pick Weiler Abreu, and he would be a great choice for a TA card, honestly, if he makes the roster. Because other than a Tops Now or a Spotlight, when else are you going to get a Weiler Abreu card other than at the end of the year for Finest if he continues being an absolute menace against right-handed pitching? Yankees, you don't even have to say his name. I think this will be the first one that I say is a pretty high possibility that he's part of the collection and could be a 99. Whether he's the final guy like last year. He wasn't the final one. I think Ohtani was the final one, and he was the second to last one. And it was a big collection. We got like Tatis, Judge, and Ohtani. Was there one other one that we got? Chris Sale. Chris Sale was the first one, I believe. So 4 99s in the collection last year. Rodon and Max Fried both having very good years. I think they're shoe-ins. Another team that's just playing really well, so it's kind of hard for them to narrow it down. There's probably going to be a snub or two, but it is what it is. There's only so many spots. I think Luke Weaver's kind of cooled way off. He was going to be a shoe-in probably to start the year. He still might be because, relievers are kind of hit and miss. Although in the All-Star game, a lot of relieving gets done by starting pitchers. Starting pitchers that deserve to be there, and they just come in and throw an inning. Paul Goldschmidt's also a possibility. Maybe Jazz. I'm not a Jazz hater by any means, but I think he's always a little overhyped. He's like a career 225 hitter that plays league average to slightly above league average defense, who makes quite a few mental mistakes just playing with his hair on fire all the time. I like Jazz, but I think he's a little overhyped, and there'd be other people who would be more deserving, I think, to get the All-Star nod. Drew Rasmussen and Junior Caminero, and we're done talking. Maybe Yandy. The Rays they're in the hunt, which is kind of crazy to say that there's not too many like standout performers. Like Jonathan Aranda's had a good first half, so maybe him as well. Vlad Jr., I think he's in first place for the voting. He's almost a shoe-in at first base. I think he passed Goldschmidt, or he's in second place and Goldschmidt's in first. Jeff Hoffman had been having a good year. He's a possibility. And also Springer's had a pretty decent year, so I could see him getting the nod. Bo is very popular. I don't think he's very high on the list for the voting, and so he'd have to be a selection after the fact, after the fan voting ends. White Sox. Slim Pickens. Can't find Slim anywhere. Mr. Pickens, where are you? All jokes aside, Chase Mydroth has been pretty good since he came up. He's hitting for a high average, so I could see him being their one guy that gets a nod. I don't think they have any pitchers that are playing out of their minds. Miguel Vargas also had a very hot month last month, and so maybe him. You never know. Moving on to the Guardians. J-Ram, I think he's probably the next guy on this list that's a high likelihood of getting a 99 because of how he's performed this year. He's been at his prime. Ended last year on a hot streak, started this year just as hot. His live series shows it. He's hitting for high average, he's hitting for power, he's stealing bases. He's driving in runners in scoring position. Stephen Kwan is always a possibility. He's a high on base dude, hit 300. And Emmanuel Clase is one of the most popular relievers in the league. Even if he's kind of having a down year so far, he could also crank it up. And Hunter Gaddis, that'd probably be my sneaky pick for this team, which would kind of stink unless they give him an extra pitch, because that pitch mix does not play on anything except mini seasons and CPU grinding. But he's been very good for them, so I could see him making the All-Star game. Otherwise, Don't really see anybody. Scooble. I don't think he's getting a card since he just got the Lightning player last month, but he's going to be an all-star for sure. Kerry Bonds, unfortunately, left the game tonight when I'm recording this with an injury. He also was a dude that would have been really cool to see in the home run derby with the power he's been flashing this year. How old is he? He's pretty young, 27. Not super young. Hunter Green is third place, I want to say, in the voting for outfielders, and Glaber is first for second baseman, so they're very likely. And I think Torkelson's second or third for first baseman, so they got a few good chances here. Javi Baez is top 3. I think he's second behind Judge in outfield voting. So, unfortunately, the Color Storm card came out somewhat recently. I don't see him getting another card. The only thing that invalidates that statement is if they participate in the home run derby, they're guaranteed a card. Everybody, even if they get knocked out in the first round, those guys get base round cards. The guys that get eliminated in the semis will get mid-round cards, and then the finalist and the champion get rare round cards for the home run derby. And then your All-Star Game MVP, other guys who have good performances, like last year Juan Soto wasn't the MVP, but he hit a home run, and he got a 99 rare round card. So, you never know. So, that being said, I guess Scooball could get a 99 if he gets MVP for some reason. Like if he throws 2 innings and strikes out 4 guys and they decide to give him the MVP because it's like a 3-1 ball game and there's not that much offense other than singles. You just have to wait and see. Bobby Witt is currently second in voting for shortstops, if I remember correctly. I think he is really likely to be an all-star. Give me 1 second. My wife was just trying to call me. Sorry about that. Yeah. Don't want to be too loud. Daughter's just being really restless tonight. Me. Okay. Other than Bobby Witt Jr., there are some other options that the Royals could get. Chris Bubich has had a pretty solid year. Cole Reagans has spent a lot of the year hurt, so I don't know that he's real likely. Michael Garcia's had a pretty good year. Ursig has been a very solid reliever for them, so he is a pretty high likelihood if there is another reliever to be selected, other than starting pitchers to come in late in the game. He could get the nod as well. Maybe Jack Cag, just off of hype and him debuting, and he's done pretty good so far, but I don't know if he's necessarily done enough to make the All-Star game. So we will just have to see. Excuse me. Byron Buxton. I do believe he was top 3 in outfield votes until his last little injury. It was only like a week long that he wasn't playing, but I believe he's still top 6 as of when they closed the first round of voting. So I think he's a finalist for the fan vote. Danny has had a very good year. Another one of those reliever that may get the nod, may not. It tends to be a lot more starting pitchers than relievers in the All-Star game because more innings thrown, just larger sample size, I don't know. However, they decide that they want to figure it. The Astros, Josh Hader, honestly, maybe the most likely reliever to make the All-Star game in the American League. He's had an amazing year. Him and Aroldis Chapman probably neck and neck for, most likely relievers to be in the All-Star game. Hunter Brown has been very good, so he's pretty likely. And then Jeremy Pena is a pretty popular guy around the league, so I could see him getting the nod. But also a little bit of, bias. Altuve's getting older. His production's starting to dip a little bit. And so does he get the nod because you just never know how many more seasons you get out of him? I don't remember when his contract ends. I want to say maybe through next year. I cannot remember for sure, though. So don't get me lying. But, yeah, a few good options there. Mike Trout. Mike Trout has had a pretty bad year to Mike Trout standards and is still top 6 in outfielder voting somehow. Just based off of name popularity alone. So I think it's probably a given Mike Trout's going to be an all-star, even though he's hitting like 215 with a lot of strikeouts. Zach Neto's had a pretty good year, though. Joe Adele's had a decent year. I don't know if it would be necessarily all-star worthy. Um, can't think of any starting pitchers for them. Maybe Jose Soriano. He's been good recently. So maybe, but it's kind of Mike Trout and Neto for me for the Angels. The A's, Mason Miller has not had as good of a year as he did last year after, bursting onto the scene as a rookie. Jacob Wilson is currently first place in voting for shortstop, so I think he's a shoe-in to make the All-Star game, whether he's a starter or not. And then, honestly, I think that could be they're going to get their one guaranteed, maybe get a second in Mason Miller, just because he's a popular reliever, but that could be it for them. I know Brent Rooker's kind of turned it back on here recently, but not a great start to the year, not as big of a name, and like I said, Jacob Wilson's been taking the league by storm basically this year at shortstop. This is where it could get a little more difficult to decide. Not necessarily who's going to be an all-star, because they've got a very good closer who's very likely to make the all-star game. Some good starting pitchers, George Kirby, Logan Gilbert, Brian Wu. They could all be all-stars. Polanco is a popular player. Julio Rodriguez is a very popular player who has been playing better lately, who could get the nod. Cal Raleigh is definitely going to be an all-star, but anyone else besides him from the Mariners makes the all-star game, and they will be getting a card. And he was going to be a pretty likely choice, in my opinion, to get a 99 with how he's been hitting home runs this year. But with the way SDS does the content, I don't think that's very likely now, because there is a chance of him to earn a 99 from the Home Run Derby, which is way more likely than the coin toss of are they going to be the MVP of the All-Star game. He's guaranteed at least a base round diamond card from the Home Run Derby, which my guess, minimum, what was the Summer Series base rounds were 91s, so 92 overall probably, maybe a 93 for a base round card for the Home Run Derby. And then 95-ish, 97 maybe for mid-round cards, depending on their performance. They could kind of flex that and not make them all the same. Usually the base round cards are all the same. Mid-rounds can fluctuate one overall higher or lower. And then with us not being in the sets and seasons, I don't think both rare round guys for the finalists are both getting 99s. I think they'll do like they did the last year we were in the Power Creep, where J-Rod came in second and he got a 98 instead of getting the 99. And so Cal Raleigh's going to get a Home Run Derby card, so I don't think he's going to be a collection anymore, and he won't be the Team Affinity card. The Rangers is kind of a tough one as well, because they've been very up and down. I think DeGrom is a shoe-in as an all-star with how he's been pitching lately. Was he 36? And he's pitching Cy Young caliber over the last month and a half, probably. Evaldi's been good. Corey Seager's a very popular player. I could see him being a substitute. Maybe even a Home Run Derby participant. I know he did in 22, and I believe he did one time before that as well. Wyatt Langford has had a good year. Probably would be deserving of being an all-star. Outfield is just very thick in both leagues, honestly. There's been a lot of really good performers in the outfield this year, and so you get resurgence of guys like Javi Baez that take up a slot in the outfield as well, because that's where he's primarily been playing for the Tigers. Kind of makes it tough on him. I'm going to try not to be too biased here. I'm going to just say factual information. I may throw out a little bit of Braves bias on a couple people. Just have to see where the chips fall. But I think Acuna is definitely an all-star. Does he get the all-star nod? With how, like I said, it's thick in the outfield. He has moved up to third in the fan voting. So he could play his way into a starting spot based off the fan voting if that holds through phase 2. But he is also guaranteed a home run derby card. He was the first announced participant. So he's guaranteed a home run derby card, whether it's base, mid, or rare round for being a finalist. So he will not be a team affinity card. There's just no way. He won't be a collection card. Like I said, try not to be too biased of my favorite team here. He would make a great 99 for how hot he started. The smaller sample size, I don't think they will. Chris Sale has pitched very good recently. Won the Cy Young last year. I think it's pretty likely. I don't know if he accepts it this year. Maybe he does, but should be an all-star. Spencer Schwellenbach, I think, would be a more likely choice for starting pitcher for us. He's been more consistent the whole stretch of the year. Younger guy, knock on wood, hasn't had injury problems, so throwing an extra inning instead of taking the days off would not be as much of a concern. And, if you bring him in out of the bullpen, he's a younger guy that eats an inning in the All-Star game. Matt Olson has been playing very, very well lately. I don't think he's super high in the voting. He may be a finalist. I can't remember if it's like top 5 that move. Maybe it's just top 3 that move on in the fan vote. So he may have to be a selection later or a fill-in. I don't know. Otherwise, we're not playing too great, so there's not a whole lot of other options. Grant Holmes has pitched very good, so maybe if it's not Schwellenbach getting a nod for a pitcher spot, it'd be Grant Holmes. I'd like to say Austin Riley, but he's doing Austin Riley things where he's super hot for a couple weeks, and then he's all or nothing for a couple weeks with way too many strikeouts and not drawing walks. Ozuna's power's been way down for over a month. His power numbers on the year as a whole are just down. So I don't foresee him getting the nod. Our best reliever has been Dylan Lee probably. And so, that's a long shot. I don't really foresee scrolling down that far for an all-star, honestly. Anybody's guess is as good as mine here. Max Meyer was having a pretty good year. I believe he got struck in the head by a line drive, and so may not happen. Augusto Ramirez was hot early, but maybe their default is just Sandy, former Cy Young winner. Otto, I don't really see it being him. And who is the other one that just recently? Kyle Sowers just got a low 90s diamond for Spotlight, and so I don't think he's really even performing well enough on the year to be an all-star, but you never know with the lower overall teams. Like, if they only get one slot, whoever gets selected by the team goes, or however they decide who their representative is if they don't have voted in players. I'm not real sure there. The Mets, I believe Alonso is second in voting at first base. Either that or he's first. I know he's top 2. Juan Soto is a finalist in the voting, but I believe he's dropped all the way down to 6th. He had that really long cold stretch, which was kind of hurting him, and Lindor is first in voting for shortstops. And if either one of them gets it, I'm assuming they're probably both going to be all-stars, but either one of them would also be a very likely selection for a 99 collection card. Recognizable names, really popular cards in the game, switch hitting shortstop, one of the best hitting players of our generation. Infield, outfield doesn't matter in Juan Soto. And we're kind of due for a good card for either of them at this point, and this is kind of what they've been waiting on, I guess. I can't foresee either of them being in the home run derby either. I'd really rather us not shoehorn Alonso into the home run derby again. His last couple performances have not been great, and just kind of over it, I guess. I don't know. I'd rather see some other people get a shot. The Phillies, another star-studded team. So you just gotta kind of. I mean, Zach Wheeler's been as consistent as he usually is. You know, looking like a Cy Young finalist. Bryce Harper's had kind of a down year for his standards. Still one of the most popular players in the league. I don't believe he's a fan vote finalist for a starting spot. Neither is Trey Turner or Kyle Schwarber. Schwarber's a guy that could participate in the home run derby, though. We only have 2 participants announced so far. Just Acuna and Cal Raleigh so far. So we'll just have to see. Pitching-wise, Luzardo's had a very good year. I honestly wouldn't be surprised if Luzardo got the nod for an all-star game. Christopher Sanchez has just been consistent, but I think out of the 2 of them, my vote would be on Jesus Lizard. James Wood, it's criminal that he wasn't any higher in the voting with the numbers he put up. He got intentionally walked 4 times in the last game they played. Joined a pretty elite list. It was also something that occurred to me. It was a close game, and you're not going to let the best player on a not very good team beat you alone in a close game. Nobody on base, like, just put him on. Face the next guy. Mackenzie Gore's also had a great year. I think they're their 2 most likely options. And like I said, it's a little disappointing James Wood wasn't higher, but that's what happens when the whole first 2 phases are based off of fan voting, and I guess their fans weren't out voting enough. However you want to look at that. Another big one here, honestly. Pete Crow Armstrong, I think, is the 3rd most likely player to get a collection reward card because of how good his defense is. And that was the biggest critique of his Easter egg card, is that in the power creep, it's very hard to make 5-tool players that aren't just average to below average at everything, because you have to make them 5-tool for where we are in the power creep. And when you have max defense and max speed, it doesn't leave much wiggle room for hitting attributes. And he's got over 20 home runs before the All-Star break. He's hitting for a decent average. So he needs a juicier card. Maybe they can find a way to build a 95. I just think it would be more likely that he gets a 99. And even then, he's got 99s in the past that aren't great hitting-wise for a 99 because of the maxed-out fielding speed and base running. Kyle Tucker's having another amazing year, like Kyle Tucker clocks in every single year. He's just Mr. Consistent, hits like 270, hits 20, 30 home runs. For a guy that's not very fast, he plays solid defense in right field. And sneaky steals bags. Like I said, a guy that's not very fast, he always seems to manage to steal 20 bases every year. Dansby had a hot stretch, cooled way off. I don't know that pitching-wise they got anybody that's real likely. Shota's kind of wavered lately. I think his last start he did significantly better than he had been doing. Justin Steele's out for the year. Carson Kelly might be an outlier chance at getting the nod for an All-Star. He's been pretty consistent this year, and so it would be cool to see him get the nod. I just don't know how many guys can you have catch in one game, man? Like 3? You want them all to get in that bat. That's the tough part. So you just have to wait and see. The Reds, I think really their first 2 guys are their really only options. They may both get it, and it kind of just is who do they want to give the team affinity card to, and who do they want to just wait and see if they get a card from the game. I'd really like to see Ellie compete in the home run derby. And he did talk about it last year when he was an all-star, about how he just wanted to take in the all-star game as a rookie. And he's not against being in the home run derby. He just didn't want to do it in his first go-around. Hunter Green's been an all-star before. He's been pitching very well again this year. Wouldn't be surprised at all if he's an all-star. The Brewers. They got guys like Sal Frelick and Bryce Terang who always hit for a high average and not a lot of power. Freddie Peralta's very up and down. William Contreras has not been very good this year, but he's the type of guy that can get hot and be one of the best hitters in baseball for a month, so you never know. Jackson Churio's been very up and down, but he's an exciting young player that people are kind of coming around to. But like I said earlier, outfield's pretty thick, and so it's kind of hard to find a way to shoehorn in another outfielder. And Christian Yelich has been having a pretty solid year, and he's a 2-time MVP, more recognizable name across, baseball fans. So just kind of wait and see here. I could see him getting a couple. I could see him just getting one. Kind of depends on, I guess, how the roster falls. We'll just have to wait and see. Paul Skeens, obvious all-star. The dude's got a 2 ERA with a 2-5 record or some crap because he can't get any run support. He's putting up a Cy Young caliber year with a losing record, which isn't unheard of, but would be kind of wild. And they haven't had too many other outstanding performers in Pittsburgh this year, so I think he's there most likely. We'll just have to see. On to the Cardinals now. I think the most deserving would be Brennan Donovan. I don't know that he has the name recognition. It would probably have to be a choice by the Cardinals for him to be an all-star. Arenado's been having a pretty good stretch here lately. Wouldn't be surprised at all if he was an all-star again. And Sonny Gray is having a pretty good year. I think he's had a couple of rough starts, but otherwise he's been pretty solid. Ryan Helsley's a pretty popular reliever. I don't think he's had a great year. So probably between Brendan Donovan and Nolan Arenado, we'll just have to wait and see, I suppose. The Diamondbacks, Cattell is first and second base voting, and I think honestly, like if you had to pick top 3, top 5 finalists right now for MVP, he'd probably be an MVP finalist. Corbin Carroll had a pretty good start to the year. I think both of them are deserving of being all-stars. I think, if I remember correctly, Corbin Carroll's like 4th or 5th in the fan vote, so he's made it to phase 2 of the fan vote. But he's fallen down the ladder. I believe at one point he was 2nd, and he's worked his way down a little bit. Otherwise, Merrill Kelly's had a pretty solid year again. Could see him being an all-star. Josh Naylor, he's not having a bad year by any means, but he's kind of having your atypical left-handed hitting first baseman year. He hits right-handers pretty good. Hits for decent enough average against lefties, but not enough power. And Corbin Burns is out for the year, so he's not going to be an all-star. It's kind of like the Marlins here for me. Brenton Doyle's not had a great year. Tovar's been pretty consistent to what we've come to expect from him. Hunter Goodman's played pretty well lately. Did just get this card though, so crap. We will just have to see. I don't believe Jordan Beck's been pretty solid. Other than that, honestly, I'm kind of leaning Tovar or Goodman so far. We'll just have to see. Half the lineup, half the rotation. Shohei's already locked in. He had the most votes in the National League, and so he's an all-star. I believe Freddie was first at first base, if I remember correctly. He is very deserving of being an all-star. I don't believe Mookie is a finalist. I believe Will Smith is first or second at catcher, so he's probably going to be an all-star. Yamamoto's deserving. He's had a very good year. I think Snell and Glasnow have just kind of been consistent. Nothing too stand out. Teoscar, I believe, is second right now in outfield voting, and so he's looking like he's going to be an all-star, and he's unfortunately already said he's not going to participate in the home run derby. I wish it was not a requirement, but like more expected that the guy that wins the home run derby competes the next year. It just kind of loses its luster for me when the defending champion doesn't compete the next year. I don't know. I feel like it makes it a little more interesting. Somebody going out and trying to defend their title as the home run derby champion. Kind of stinks that he's already announced he's not doing it. He has had a couple of little stints on the IL, so I get it, but it still stinks. Kirby Yates and Tanner Scott have had pretty good years so far, so they could both be all-stars. Like I said, it's kind of hit or miss with the relievers. You never know. And Clayton Kershaw is getting up there in years. Signed a one-year deal for like the second or third offseason in a row with them. He could probably be a commissioner nod where they expand the roster by a player or two so that he's an all-star again, like they did with Miguel Cabrera and Albert Pujols. They were both all-stars in Albert's final year, and then I think Miggy was even an honorary all-star last year as well, or not last year, 2 years ago in his final year. Tatis was like very early on in the voting, top 6, and I believe he fell all the way out and in the finalists now. But he's a very popular name. I think he will be an all-star. He's had a pretty decent year. He's gotten cold as of late, like the last few weeks, but still putting up pretty good numbers, and as long as he's not hurt or getting beamed by pitches, like he'll be an all-star probably. Manny Machado's had a pretty good turnaround this year. I think he's pretty likely to be an all-star. Like I said, it's just kind of tough with how the roster falls, who else at what other positions. It's kind of hard to tell early on until we get through the first phase and find out who the fan votes are for sure. Pitching-wise, I don't know. Robert Suarez hasn't had a great year, so I don't know that they have a pitcher here. And finally, the Giants. Logan Webb's had a very good year. I think he's got to be an all-star. And Devers' votes all carried over from the American League to the National League, and he went from being first place as the DH in the American League to second place behind Ohtani. So, I mean, does that default him as a backup third baseman option maybe? He may not start, but I think he's got to be an all-star. He's had a pretty solid year. And Randy Rodriguez has had a very good year. Say it again for like the 5th or 6th time. It's just kind of tough with relievers. You never really know Robbie Ray has also had a very good year, so if they're going to send a pitcher or they're going to send a starter. Just have to wait and see. I think that's really it for them. A slight addendum here at the end that I didn't remember until I was talking about Devers' votes carrying over, because I remember that there was a funny tweet that this player put out about the trade, or may not have been a tweet. He may have been getting interviewed and asked about the All-Star voting. Ryan O'Hearn is now number 1 in the American League at DH because Devers being traded from the American to the National League, it bumped everybody up. He went from second to first. And so that kind of up in the air who might be an all-star for the Orioles may be decided. And I didn't remember until after the fact that he is actually first place in voting for DH since Devers got traded. And yeah, like I said, there's a few options of guys that could be collection rewards, big names, and guys that have had standout first halves. They seem somewhat obvious, so you just kind of, they're not going to give you a free Judge card. They're not going to give you a free Ohtani card. And like I said, I believe PCA has had a good enough first half to warrant the type of card that he deserves for the numbers he's put up at the plate with his fielding and speed. It probably needs to be a collection card, even if it's like the first collection card and it's not a 99, it needs to be like a 97. And we'll just have to wait and see. But yeah, I guess this is where I do an outro. Thanks for coming out. That was not as smooth as it should have been. Alrighty, recording that with the break as well took a bit longer. I was kind of thinking I was going to be getting off earlier tonight, but this actually isn't super early comparatively. I usually get off around 2 to 3. And since we finished the multiplayer program, I'd say we're at a pretty good stopping point. Really unfortunate. Didn't get anything out of that 50 bundle. And got a Tyler Glass now to show for the chase pack. But, yeah, just not even real sure what we'll do tomorrow night. I've been kind of itching to get back into some shooter games. Maybe COD. Maybe me and my buddy Patrick will play a little Helldivers. We'll just have to see. I may still play the show to start out with on stream. Maybe we play a ranked game or two because I'm only at 7-10. I wouldn't mind getting a little closer to World Series before the Weekend Classic starts. Like I said, I'm going to be going to visit my family in Arkansas, and so I won't be streaming again until Sunday night. Yeah. So typically would be back on Thursday and Friday night after work, but we're going to be leaving Thursday when I get off work to go to Arkansas to see my family. And I just enjoyed the Weekend Classic way more last go around compared to the first two in Gold 1. Instead of playing all of the people that hit World Series and stopped, it was super sweaty. I went 3-3 in both of the first two Weekend Classics and only faced John Don and Randy Johnson, and I think Roger Clemens one game. And so I'll just hit World Series during the Weekend Classic. I'm totally cool with that. I went 5-1 and finished second on my leaderboard, so I feel like I even made more stubs off of being one division lower because I was able to perform a little better and I enjoyed it more. And I'm just to the point in the year where I'd rather just enjoy playing the game instead of sweating and trying to see how high I can get or how competitive I can get. I'm not too worried about that. I'm a 35-year-old father who works a full-time job. So but yeah. What are the rewards even going for now? If you sell them before the Rewind pack comes out, it's still, yeah, 40K. They're better, so the price is starting to climb, closing up around 50. And then if you time it right, you can probably get it to where there's a bit of a influx, and you can get them up to 50. So, yeah. That's the plan going forward. I'll be live Sunday night again. I'll be live tomorrow night, but I'll be live Sunday night for the Weekend Classic, and I'll actually be able to be live Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, because I don't go back to work until Thursday next week. So an extra day of streaming, because I got somebody to work for me Sunday, so we wouldn't have to come home on Saturday. And yeah, I think that's going to be all for me tonight.